So this is the road to 28 wins for Arsenal this season. Let's see if you can actually do it. So on tour, I've done this thing whereby I've split the season into 9.5 blocks, or let's just say 10 blocks of games. So there's 38 games in a season. Obviously, if you split the games into four different blocks, then you've got like what? So you got 9 blocks, and then the last block is just going to be two games. And what I've said here is that if you can win three out of every four games in each block, then you'll end the season with 28 wins. Obviously, on the last block, if you win just one of the two games, you get 28 wins. If you win two of the last game in that last block, you get 29 wins. And obviously, 28 wins is 84 points, 29 wins is 87 points. And if you draw more than you lose, then of course, you finish at a higher position. Plus, what I've seen going back the last decade in the league, the team that has won the league has mainly varied between the range of 26 and 32 wins. Obviously, City and Liverpool had 32 wins or 31 wins, 13 wins, but that's something that we know is not. They're probably not gonna repeat that this season. Obviously, Liverpool are not going to. Maybe Man City could do that, but obviously, if you finish behind a team that gets 30 wins or 31, 32 wins, then you just have to put your hands up and just say they were the better team. But if we can get in between that range of at least 28 wins, what's it called? Top four will be guaranteed anyways. Anything between 26 and 28, top four is already guaranteed. But with this table that I'm speaking about, it's a way to get 28 wins. So let's look at how we can do it. So far this season we've played 11 games. That means we've already been through three blocks, because obviously each blocks is four games each, and that means that after 12 games, so after the Forest game, that would be the third block completed. In our first block, who did we play? We played Palace, Leicester, Bournemouth, and Fulham, and we won all the games. So how this goes is that ideally you want to win three out of the four games to continue to do this thing. You're allowed to drop a point, or you're allowed to drop a point or lose one of those four games. But if you go through the whole four games like we did in the block one, if you go through the whole four games without losing, you can carry that loss or draw that you didn't get in that block. You can take it to a different block. So therefore, let's say for example in our next block we had two losses, or one draw and one loss, or whatever the case may be, or two draws. Then that means that in that block it doesn't really matter, because you already had the extra point that you didn't lose from the first block, you to make up for that already. So in our first block, so let me just break it down again. So in our first block this season, of Palace, Leicester, Bournemouth, and Fulham, we won all those games. So we just know right now we've got a game to spare in hand for let's just imagine a block whereby we end up dropping points in two games rather than just one game. In our second block again, against Villa, United, Brentford, and Spurs, we only drop points to United. So again, that's fine. Obviously, we didn't save a game, but we won three out of the four, so that's good. In our next block of games was the Liverpool, Leeds, Southampton, and Forest. We beat them. We beat Liverpool. We beat Leeds. We drew with Southampton. Now, if we beat Forest, then that means we've won three out of the four. Yeah, and therefore we're going along with the pattern of winning three. Because if you win three times nine, if you win three times nine, that's 27 wins. And if you win one game in the last block, that's 28 wins. So if we just continue to win three out of each four games, we're gonna make it to 28 wins this season. And obviously now we've got a spare game to drop, because in our first block of games we didn't lose anything. So let's say for example we lose to Forest, we're still on track because in the first block we didn't lose any game. Obviously you want to save these spare games on things like that for like a difficult four-game block whereby maybe we play two big teams and we end up maybe drawing one and losing one or something like that. We can save it for them. But all we have to do is basically continue on this stretch from the whole season. We've had the first block already, had the second block already. We're on the third block right now. Hopefully we beat Forest and we continue on that pattern. And then after that, we got 6 more blocks to go, and then the last 2 games of the season. So I feel like Arsenal can actually get 28 wins. I've been waiting for us to actually do this. I started this a few years ago, and I've been waiting for Arsenal to actually be able to complete this. But one way or the other, we've always ended up falling short and not followed the pattern and stuff like that. But this season, from what I've seen how we played, we look like we can actually maintain consistency. I hope we actually bring in some players in January to ensure that we're able to continue playing, because the way we play, we look very difficult to beat. The only concern is that maybe in the second half of the season, if fatigue starts to settle in and we don't have enough depth, we can start drawing too many games. Because I think even if we're not playing well, we're a very difficult team to beat. So I think the worst case scenario this season in the second half is that we get tired, the players get tired, they go out of form, and we end up drawing too many games. Hopefully that's not the case, and we address that in the transfer market. But this is the road to 28 wins. I'll be doing this after every 4 games. I'll come back to this after the Forest game to update you on that. But throughout the whole season, I'll be completing this and updating this after every 4 games. Anyways, see you guys in the next video.